everybody. Thanks for watching. So yeah, real quick, been going for a while. Been working on the Merkabah Scholar Society app, and it's a lot of work. So I'm happy that we're basically done. As you can see, a lot of people had already hit me up. The app is in the Google Play Store right now for Merkabah Scholar Society members. But as I said, do not download it because the update is coming. And I mean, you can download it if you want to. You just got to update. But I would recommend just waiting until it's completely complete. It's just up there for testing purposes right now. So it's in the Google Play Store. It will be in the Apple App Store as well. So just finishing up the last things. And it's a lot. So, I talked about before, the app will be like IG. Safaris will be a little bit different. You can actually put clickable links on Merkabah Scholar Society app. It'll be better in some ways. Some things it's not going to be there yet because, I'm not a multi-billionaire that can afford all that stuff. But it's almost going to be basically the same as IG for Scholar Society members, timeline and everything like that. And it'll be just a much better social media experience for conscious people to basically do what we like to do and share information. So basically the same apps you're using with IG, you can use with Merkabah Scholar Society app. So even if you're on IG and you want to take a video off of IG, you can basically do the same thing. Take the video off of IG and you can upload it on Merkabah Scholar Society app using the same apps you use for IG. Same thing. So Square, InShot, all those other, Repost, all those other apps work with my app as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Friday, I think April 25th, something like that, or maybe before it should release. As I said, it's already really available for Android, but again, only Merkabah Scholar Society members can basically use the app. If you download the app, you can't use it. You have to be approved to use it, as you guys will see. So I want to get into this video because there's a lot to discuss and I want to do it in a little bit of time. So yeah, let's start. So now, I've been getting so many videos from people, of course, about what's going on with tariffs and China and everything like that. All the exposing of goods China is doing with the major manufacturers and major companies, Louis Vuitton and everything like that. I mean, this is stuff that some people shocked about, probably younger people. But of course, we already knew about all this stuff. Everybody knows China is making this stuff. And they're basically getting it to the point, almost to the point of completion. And then they send it to Italy and they finish it up. Basically a small amount of work they have to complete. So they can put that little stamp on it that says made in Italy when really it was basically assembled in China. So again, a lot of people talking about it, they're exposing, but don't be so short and make it as if China is just doing you guys a favor. China been raping you just as well as these, companies here in America. And they know for sure that they bootleg these products. So it's not like they're giving you the same exact stuff or was giving us the same exact stuff as the major corporations. Because, if you ever bought bootleg from China or seen the factories, they still giving you a knockoff. It's not the same exact quality as, the major brands. Now you can get that quality, but it's not going to be the same as, say, like stuff on DHgate or what have you. It's going to be a lower, dumbed down quality. And you'll see the difference for a little bit more money or a lot more money in some cases. You can get exact same, for hundreds of dollars versus thousands of dollars. But they've been putting that out. But one of the things a lot of people is seeing besides that, and this is one of the reasons why you got to travel, is just how much better the rest of the world is living compared to us here in America. There's a lot of videos going around on social media showing the beauty of China and other countries. And it's one of the things I always tell people, unless you travel abroad, you travel the world and see the rest of the world, you're going to really be growing up and thinking that America is the greatest place on the planet. And it's really not. There are so many other countries that is way better than America. I mean, system-wise, just quality of life, the food is better, more healthier. These people are literally trying to kill us here. And it's right in front of our faces. So when you see all the videos, you have Black people living in China, Vietnam, Thailand, all over the world. And they're putting out videos showing you, hey, it's better here. No, they don't hate us like everybody wants us to believe. We can go here and we're love. I told you guys that as well. Every country I've been to was love. It was just so much love and people were happy. And whether it's Thailand or Tibet or, Egypt, it still was love and people was treating you well because you're a foreigner. And it's just how it is. And people want to just show you hospitality and how good their country is. And they don't have the same kind of problems that we have. For them to even try to be as hateful as we, believe the propaganda has shown us. So we've seen so much propaganda, and America is really good at that, changing the narrative and making us think one thing about a nation when it's not that way at all. So a lot of the videos going out, a lot of the Chinese manufacturers are out there exposing these major brands. There's a lot going on, and people just like scratching their head and worried about what's going on. The thing you have to think about is why now? Why so long? So we understand Trump, the tariffs and what's happening, a little hold on things for a little bit for China. And now it's like, what's going on with prices? Are they actually passing the prices on to us? And I broke that whole thing down. And it's like, well, yeah, tariffs are a small amount of money per product for the company. So they can pass that extra price on to us, which could be, it's going to be depending on the total cost of the product. If it's something that's like $100, then the tariffs is only going to be like $5 or less. And if it's something like, in the thousands, then it's going to be more money. And what China is coming out basically saying is, hey, check it out. We can basically sell you the same product for the same thing we're selling it to these companies for, just add on the tariffs, and it's still going to be super small. Like if we sell it to them for $50, we'll sell it to you for $61, and they're going to sell it to you for, a few $100s. And that's basically what's been going on. And it's something that we got to understand, as I've been saying before, these people have been raping us. Like there is no way in the world that we should be paying the prices we pay for a lot of this, the stuff that we import and stuff that we buy. And then you still have to step back and look at it and say, why is it this way? And why is it that this government has allowed this? Why did we send all these manufacturing jobs over to another country for them to make our products, then sell it to the stores, and then they sell it to the consumers? They sell it to us for crazy marked up prices, where one, we could have left that stuff here, made it ourselves, had jobs for the people, brought money into the country. And this is what Trump is talking about. And this is what's the divide right now. Because again, as I said before, you would have to believe that everything that's happening now is based on that. And the way you look at it is, this dude is basically saying, I am going to cripple these major companies, these major corporations that's been milking the people, and get them to pay these tariffs on their products, which is going to be money that's going to go to the government to basically, get America in black. The thing is, one, we're not ever going to see where that money actually goes or what it's allocated to, regardless of what they say, right? So when you start to look now and you pay attention to China, because China right now is what's happening is crazy and it's more deeper than a lot of people realize. But one, the Elon Musk thing makes a lot more sense now. Because now we've seen one, and we already knew this for people who in the know, like the Chinese auto manufacturers can completely not only cripple, Tesla and Elon, but every car manufacturer in America. Think about that. If we bring in Japanese cars, we're bringing in European cars, but China, no. When China makes a car for 10 grand, it's better than most of the stuff that's driving on the street. And we've seen the videos, we've seen the tests, and it's like, why can't we get this? And nobody's talking about it. This is not what the arguments are about. When we can see in another country, they're living better than us. They're producing their products better, right? They're selling it to the people for much cheaper. And this is supposed to be America, the greatest land, and so on and so forth. Freedom, democracy, and all that. And we've been getting screwed. But it's the whispers I want you to pay attention to. Because with all of the rhetoric and with all the stuff China's talking about, you hear it in the background. Revolution. Oh, America need to have a revolution. A revolution needs to be had by the people. Because now what we're seeing, and everybody's going to be coming into the understanding of this now, is our government for a long time has been basically allowing corporations to scam us, to basically run us through the ringer. And I've said this before, there is no way in the world with the taxes we pay that we should be paying for utilities. And I always say that, like, to me, that just drove me nuts when you really understand how much we pay in taxes per year. It should cover all of our utilities. We should not be paying any utility bills at all. It should be covered. And them allowing these companies to come in and basically milk the American people tells you that these politicians are not for the people. I mean, Trump just basically came out and said, hey, I made all my friends billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. Because if you guys paid attention, and I posted it on my IG, I showed you guys. This is one of the reasons I'm making Merkabah Scholar Society app, because a lot of you guys are not going to see information that you really want to see or really need to see, which is why I created this society so I can get this information out to you. We've seen XRP drop all the way down to, I think it got to 161, right? Was the lowest. And, I made out like a bandit. I bought like crazy. Luckily, I was up because they slipped and they did it in the middle of the night. So if he was on the West Coast, he kind of was up for it, even though it was like around, towards midnight. But if he was on the East Coast, he probably was sleeping and you probably missed it unless you have your stuff set up auto and everything like me as well. And then he was fine. You know where you set it to buy, you know where you set it to sell. I wouldn't have set it to sell for us XRP. You just wouldn't have done that. But they got people. And that's what he's talking about, because one, XRP shot down. And if you bought up, you bought up. And that's what happened. A lot of people panicked and they sold. And there was a lot of shares available. And that's what happened. So many companies, so many of these people bought XRP. Now, I got locked out. One, I bought the max when it dropped down to 161. I was literally, and we have 24-hour supermarket out here. I was literally in the supermarket, and it dropped. And I was buying. I was able to get a purchase in, but then I was locked out. And when I moved money around and everything to try to buy more, they would not let me. I mean, it was crazy. It was ridiculous. So I believe that was a big money grab for them, and it was only letting other people get certain pieces of it. But, I put multiple accounts in and tried to buy the max multiple times. I was only able to do it once, but I have multiple accounts. I should be able to do it, with the accounts that I have. I couldn't do it. It would not go through. So I knew it was some type of shit going on with that. But I understand what's going on. It's just one of the things that goes to show what's happening. And Elon Musk being a part of all this just makes a lot more sense when you understand what he would need for the government to do to protect Tesla and his interests. So we've seen what China did to NVIDIA when they just talked about their AI system and their software, what they're going to release, what they have, which it's clear to see. And the market, the price dropped low. And if China was able to be to get their foot in America as far as auto manufacturing, I mean, it's over for everybody. So, I mean, they can literally cripple this country, but it just gets you into the understanding of what's going on and how this stuff really works, and that America is not run by Americans. We are not running this country. This country went bankrupt years ago. The stuff we talk about as far as Woodrow Wilson and the Federal Reserve Act and everything that happened with all that, it's all true. It's all public record. We're not running this thing. The Treasury Department basically controls everything. They're running it all. That's why our birth certificate and that number on there goes back to them when you understand all that. But you got to pay attention, man, because now it's like you have to really look at politics completely different and stop believing, it's Trump and politicians and left and right and Republican and Democrat. This is about the corporations, the companies. This is business, plain and simple. United States corporation. It's a company. It's a corporation. We are workers. If you have a social security number, you're a worker for the corporation. It's easy, but this is a game. Make no mistake, as I said before, there is no America versus China. There is no America versus Russia. It's bullshit. It's WWE. Smoke and mirrors. Don't you think it's a huge conflict of interest for China to have so much of a large say-so in the American economy, for them to be making and manufacturing the majority of products that we use as American people, for these people who are not our allies, who are not friends with us, basically?